Good evening, good morning, good afternoon.
Yes.
Is that the order we should do it in? Good
Yeah, I'm
evening, good
ready.
morning, good
There's a
afternoon.
lag. There's an
So
insane lag somewhere. I'm
yeah,
good. Let's do
Christos.
this.
So this show is probably going to be
Yes.
an absolute riot because Christos is either hearing me 5 minutes after I say something. I hear you sometimes. I don't hear you all the time.
I was answering. It's just something is not working. Internet is not good
Now I
today,
can't
so
hear
it
you
will
at
be
all.
an experience. Right. Let's do this.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. I mean, we're live now. We've been live. Oh
Okay.
my god. Well, so
Oh,
Christos's internet is broken. So Christos. Oh my god, this is gonna be either absolutely hilarious or a complete and utter disaster. I don't know which one. So anyway, so Christos's internet is bad. So he's tethered his laptop to his phone, and I think he's hearing everything I'm saying to him, like 60 seconds later. Um. Oh yeah. Now he is gone. So somebody buy this guy new internet. Like I don't know. Oh! I think he might be coming back. So anyway, um, yeah, it's pretty funny. I think he hears everything I say literally minutes after I say it because I asked him if he was ready like 10 times, and he told me he was ready 10 times like 5 minutes later. So, yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting show, I think. Christos, you there? Are you there, Christos? It's me, JP. Oh man. Uh, yeah. H3 Tech. He's not even streaming over Wi-Fi. He's streaming over cellular, which is why we're getting every 19th bit. So, but he broke his computer or his network or something today. I'm not entirely sure what. So, I hope he comes back. I am. I'm not terribly optimistic that he will, but I hope he does come back because yeah, Christos breaks the internet. Anyway, we've got a whole bunch of friends that are going to be coming over here in a few minutes, and so we thought it'd be great to be here when they got here for starters. Um, and so we're going to talk a lot about sort of we had some friends, they were building a JavaScript app with Node and Express, and it was integrating it with Azure Identity. So we thought, well, this would be a great opportunity for us to come back and revisit sort of what's happening under the hood, mostly to make it easier to debug and easier to understand what's going on. I mean, I think one of the things I've always experienced, with Microsoft stuff over the years has been it's either incredibly complex and it's super hard to get started with it, or it's next, finish, and you have pretty much no idea what actually happened. um, so, yeah, it's one of those things of it's one of those things where um, we're trying to find a nice middle ground. And so I know one of the things for me historically that's always been really frustrating is like if I don't understand kind of what one of those wizards did or what some of these super high level libraries are doing, it's great in terms of productivity. It's not necessarily so great in terms of being able to debug it because you don't really know exactly what's going on. It looks like Christos is on his way back in, so we'll give him a minute to get here. I certainly hope that he can come back. And if at worst case, I certainly hope it's better by tomorrow. Because of
There's a
course we're gonna...
fault. There's a fault with Comcast.
Oh, well, of course it's always Comcast, right?
Now my route.
Right? Oh,
So
Are you joined directly from your phone? You know, that could be one thing. I'm gonna see if he wants to join straight from his phone. Maybe that would work better. Of course, you know things are bad when you send him a message on Signal and the second circle doesn't show up for like 10 seconds. So let's see. Let's see if we get him on his phone, and then we'll dive in. So while we're waiting, there have been a few pieces of news. So of course, it looks like so I'm coming back for a little while, which has been nice. Because I have been gone for a little while anyway. Primarily because I had a bunch of other work to do, so I had to do the other work. So it's nice to be back. I think I'll probably be back more regularly from here on out, which would be great. In fact, tomorrow morning, Christos and I are going to be alone. There are no guests tomorrow. It's just going to be the two of us, which will be nice. Kind of get back to the roots, back to what we've been doing for a while. So I'm excited to come back. Springtime is spring is here, and I think I've managed to work through the burn down list of work that I needed to do, so I can come back and hang out with everybody again. So it'll be nice to come back. So in that spirit, Microsoft.identity.web has a couple new releases that came out. Two big things that this supports that are really, really important and a lot of people have been asking for. The first big one is that you can now use this with the Azure Identity Library. So, hey, our friends made it. Way to go. That's awesome. Welcome, everybody. Glad you could all come. I know you're expecting Christos. Christos is on the way. He's having internet problems, and so we're gonna... Is this Seth Rogen? Yeah, that's not the first time I've heard that either, which makes me a little suspicious. So, echo's pretty bad, Christos. It's awful. It's hurting my ears. Are you still on from your PC? It's awful. The echo's terrible, and yeah, the feedback is worse. Yeah, that hurts. Yeah. Anyway, Christos is coming in. He's working it out one way or the other. He's gonna come and join it, but it isn't. No, you're good. It isn't hurting everybody's ears, so that's a good thing. Yeah.
here, let me move around the room because I need to turn off some lights. Apparently, I can't even turn off the lights because the internet's down. You know that problem? Have you ever seen that problem? It's weird. This is what happens when the internet goes down. I need to switch them off manually. There you go. Because that was blinding everyone.
Yeah,
and I'm here, right?
Yeah, the internet went down here for a while, and the kids were shouting at Alexa and didn't understand why it wasn't working. So,
how dare they? I leave.
I had to explain to them. They're like, the TV isn't working. Okay, well, good. Well, I mean, at least we got you from your phone, so it's better than nothing, right?
Yes. And thanks everyone for joining. This seems like a massive influx of new friends. Yeah, it's 2 frames per second exactly. That's what we're getting today.
Okay, what is the deal with this Seth Rogen thing? I've heard this before. He looks very different than I do. His hair's curly and
I don't know.
different colored and I don't know. I mean, I guess he's kind of funny, but anyway. Anyway.
I'm not streaming from my Zoom. No. You guys are hilarious. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, thanks for hanging
Seth
out.
Rogen stole his style. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, clearly something. How old is Seth Rogen? That's probably a good thing. We have to figure out who was here first. How old is
42?
Seth Rogen? Oh, well, he was here before
43?
me then. Oh, he's 39. 39. He's still here before me, though. I don't see.
Okay.
I guess I guess it depends. It's either a compliment or it's not. It depends on if you're talking about Seth Rogen when he was like a fat guy or Seth Rogen now, because I think he's lost a bunch of weight. But anyway, so welcome everybody. uh,
I'm not.
yeah,
I'm not
after
on my
this,
microwave.
after this, yeah, I mean, can you not tell he's standing in front of his Samsung refrigerator that has a tablet built into the front of it? Oh man, it's too much. Well, I'll be honest. It looks a lot better than it did before. It looks a lot better than it did before because we can all see your smiling face. Although funny enough, I see two different Christoses on my machine, but you know, whatever. That's fine. It works. So
Yeah. Okay.
anyway,
Man,
so
can we crowdfund some? Can we crowdfund some pixels, please, for me? I'll take any pixels you have.
you remember that? You remember that guy who built it? It was called like $1 million website or something, and he sold pixels like he sold one pixel per dollar or something. Like you could buy a pixel for $1 and sold like 1 million pixels and made like I mean it made $1 million, right? It was a jump to conclusions, Matt. at the
Not
end of
even.
the day.
They didn't even have NFTs. No NFTs back then either.
Oh
so
Jesus!
The fact that he made it.
That'll be next.
Oh man.
I'm just waiting for somebody who says, "Hey, can we do and you guys do a show on NFTs?" I want to put a JWT just put a screenshot of a JWT in an NFT and sell it, and then we can retire.
Yes. 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 Yeah.
Anyway, it's good to be back. So
It is good to be
yeah, I
back.
came for
You
Labrina,
haven't been on
which
the
was
stream
what, 3 or
for
4
what?
weeks ago, and before that it was a few
3
weeks
weeks?
too. So yeah, it's nice to
been-
be back home, I guess. Back doing things that matter instead of beating my face against a brick wall like I do otherwise. So yeah, it's nice. I'm excited. Thanks for having me back. I hope there's still room.
And with all you folks being here, yeah, man, there is, there's definitely room. And now that we have so many people that know about
Yeah.
identity, it only makes sense that our community guy is the bomb.
Spread
right?
the
yeah.
spread the good word, right?
Yes.
So, all right, well, cool. Well, hey, let's get started. So so welcome everybody from Leon. I watched a little bit of the end, like the last hour or so, just to kind of get an idea what everybody was working on, and super cool to do some Azure AD. Really excited that everybody's doing Azure AD. I guess for people who don't know who I am, Christos and I started doing this together almost a year ago, and I had to take some time off to go do other stuff, I guess. So I'm finally deciding to come back. But anyway, after Leon, when Leon was sort of showing us he was working on, and we thought it would be good to it'd be good to give you like a little peek under the curtain and see how that's happening, primarily so that you could get some help debugging it and stuff. Because I think that's one of the problems we see or one of the problems I encountered a lot too is, we make things super, super easy and abstract everything way, way, way high level. And then if, we don't necessarily know what's happening, and then it doesn't work, right? And we have no idea what it actually did. So that's the...
Hey, this from our friend Sign Pro. I don't know if you saw in the chat, but he seems to be struggling with a redirect loop. Do you have any ideas how we can help him? Like, have you seen this before? Doesn't happen
So it
often.
says,
It almost feels like it doesn't. Yeah.
So I've definitely seen sign-in loops before, and the sign-in loop is sign-in loop usually is because of something like an HTTPS redirector. So like if something's trying to redirect you from one to the other, sometimes we see that. Although I don't think the To-Do app has an HTTPS redirect, so I don't think that's happening. It could be. It could be that there's like a protected route, like the login or the callback route the one that
Mm-hmm.
that consumes and processes the data back. That
Yep.
root could be protected, and so when it tries to come back and say, "Hey, I've got my sign-in data," the app sees that and is like, "Oh, wait a minute, you're not signed in. You need to go." So like that one needs to be unprotected or needs to be anonymous, available.
I I see.
And then somebody else says they had the wrong value in their client secret, so that can definitely happen too. Because it's going to try to redeem that and it's going to blow up and say, sorry, you can't do this. And then your app's going to say, oh, I need to go try to sign you in again. Let's see. For redirect URI, I put in localhost 2122 auth openid return. So I've actually got the code up. So let's go look at the code and see if that is the correct reply URL. So it looks like it is. So it's at HTTP. So you've got HTTP, localhost 2121, auth openid return. So that should be correct. Now, in your Azure AD app registration, in the Azure AD, like in the Azure portal thing, that make sure that's there, because if it's not, Azure AD is going to try to redirect you to where it thinks you should go. So if there's even the slightest of typos there, that's gonna blow up, and it's going to try to send you back somewhere else. So that may be one thing to take a look at too. It's what the redirect URL is in the thing itself. So yeah, those are the places I would start. And right now it looks like this is HTTP only, which is cool. Typically, we want to for production, absolutely HTTPS all the time. But for local dev and local host, HTTP itself is okay. It's just a matter of making sure that they are the same at both places. In fact, why don't I just go and make this work, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's make it run.
Okay.
Let's make it run.
Okay. Let me get my browser. So I've got the code from Leon's. We just cloned his repository. That's all we've done. You'll notice there's nothing in here. So let's go look at what. Let's go get one of these. Let's go get one of these cranked up, right? My internet enabled toothbrush. Yeah, I don't have one of those, but it does. It would be pretty terrifying if somebody got a hold of it. So. Consyn Pro for front channel logout, you probably don't really have to worry about that, at least for the moment. In fact, it may even cause some issues, but it's okay if it's in there. But that HTTP, HTTPS, like that, those two things not being the same, that'll cause a little bit of drama. So, okay, so I'm in my Azure AD Admin Center. So you can get to this if you're you can go to aad.portal.azure.com. And you can skip all the Azure stuff and go straight to Azure AD.
Love me some shortcuts.
Yeah. So that takes you to the Azure AD Admin Center, but you can get to the same stuff through the Azure portal too, right? Some of this chat is absolutely hilarious, so thank you.
Yeah, you know what? We love it. Keep it up. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Okay, so I'm in Azure AD, right? So I'm in my Azure AD portal. Let's go get our app registered. I saw that was a big part of it. So I'm in my portal. Let's go get our app registered. Let's see, app registrations. We don't have a YouTube. We need a YouTube command in Stream Elements, I think. So
I will add it. You do the hard work. I'll do the easy bits.
All right, so let's go create a new app, right? So I'm going to do I went to app registrations. We're going to do a new application. So I'm going to do Learn with Leon. We'll call this Express because this is Express. I don't know if you guys talked about tenancy or not at all, but since we're here, we might as well, right? So there's this thing, what kind of account do you want to have access, that sort of thing. So organizational directory, that's like you and people who are working with you. So like people at work, people at school, people who exist in this directory, right? So people who Azure AD for you specifically know about. These other ones, multi-tenant and personal, this lets you sign in like the rest of the Microsoft account world. So that could be people from any work or school, and it could be people who use their People who use their consumer account, like their Xbox account or their Hotmail account. Or, it's not called Hotmail anymore, is it? Am I showing my age by calling it Hotmail?
It's Outlook. MSA account.
MSA, Microsoft account, whatever. The jpdd.ms, that's just the name of my directory. That's all. That's why it's up here in the thing. So you can add your own custom domains to your directories. So that people can sign in with like their name at yourdomain.com instead of your name dot at blah 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 dot on Microsoft.com, that sort of thing. So single tenant's all about signing into people that you know. Multi-tenant's all about signing in the whole world of worker school accounts at Microsoft, and or multi-tenant is the whole world of work and school at Microsoft, and personal is the whole world of personal accounts. So if you are, noobslayer26 at hotmail.com and that's your account, you can let people sign in with that right here. But for the moment, we'll just do this one because whatever, it's fine. We'll just do single tenant because who cares? So the redirect URI, in fact, it's funny, we were just talking about this. So this is going to be HTTP localhost 2121. So that is one thing. This one's 2121. I don't know, Consen, if yours was 2121 or 2122. But we'll do 2121 auth openid return. I think that was the whole root, right? So let's get that registered. We should start using like 1738 as the as our reply or as our port for everything localhost. So, and then we have to get a sound clip every time we do it. Okay, so localhost 2121. We got that in. So now we've got our application ID. So I'm going to grab this client ID. We're going to pop this in over here. So for a client secret, I guess I got to go create one and hope that nobody sees it. I guess if you do see it, it's okay because my screen's so zoomed in that you won't see the whole thing anyway. So, okay. 6 months. This is new. This is cool, right? 6 months. Hey, Learn with Leon. Thanks for coming and hanging out with all your friends that you brought with you.
I am broadcasting from in front of my fridge today, so
yeah,
we bring you quality comedy.
Christos' internet is really bad, so today. So he's
just today. I'm doing my best to be here, man. Come on.
I know. I'm impressed at the dedication. To be honest, I love it.
I felt attack a little bit there.
That's okay. Just open the fridge that you're streaming from and grab a beer, and you'll be all good, right?
I need a beer. That's for sure.
Okay. So secrets. Your secrets, like we've got this new thing here. You can do custom, which makes you make them really, really long. You don't want to make them really, really long. You also don't want these to expire because your app will stop working. But you do want to be in a place where we kind of keep an eye on this, right? When we do this, we're going to generate a secret, which is essentially a long password. At the end of the day, the client ID and the secret are essentially a username and a password. There's another way to do it if you don't want to send your password over the network. So the other way to do it is something called a client certificate. And that certificate will, the private key for that certificate, like the private part of that certificate, never goes over the internet. It always stays on your machine and on your box. But it's a bunch of extra stuff to set up to generate the certificate and upload some other stuff. And so we won't worry about that tonight. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. I don't know. Christos, what do you think? You want to do client cert stuff tomorrow? We can do that.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
So we'll do some client assertions with certificates tomorrow. That might be kind of cool. I'll just do 3 months for now because I'm going to delete it afterward anyway. So we get our secret, right? And let's go post this over here. So client secret. Bam. So now we got a client secret. So let's look at the rest of this config. So we've got our metadata up here at the top. And the metadata is important because in fact, you can even go look at this and see. And I don't know if you guys did this with Leon, but so you can take this URL and you can go take it to a browser and you can see what's in it. Let me get my other browser because it's got a JSON formatter in here. So if you take that URL that you use up here, you can look at this and get a bunch of info. And what's cool about it is it means you don't have to type all this stuff in manually anywhere. The libraries will go and figure out the bulk of the work by virtue of going and looking at this path. So that login.microsoftonline.com, blah, 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 all of that. that gives your app the configuration it needs to know where the signing keys are for all the signing that happens to make sure the tokens are valid, and then also the kind of things that are supported, like how can you interact with me as the identity service. All that's available here at this configuration endpoint. And there's a bunch of other info in here. One of the big ones is called the issuer, and the issuer is the thing, that is saying this user is who they are, right? So issuer is super, super important. When we look at tokens, that's one of the big things about it. So, okay. So we got our metadata file, or we got our metadata path here. We've got our app ID, we've got our app secret, we've got our response type of code ID token, which is an interesting choice, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Form post, yeah, we've got our redirect URL, that all looks good. So all this looks okay. Validate issuer, we'll come back to that one too. Pass the request to the callback. Okay, cool. That looks good. And we got our cookie stuff. We got our cookie encryption keys. So that's good. And we got our scopes. So it looks like for the scopes, we're going to do profile. We've got offline access, and we also have mail.read. So I hope I don't have anything offensive in my mailbox.
Use your test tenant. Use your test tenant.
Oh, I've got to live on the edge.
I thought that Microsoft actually stops you from like the Microsoft tenant stops you from using that on demos. You can't do it.
Oh no, this is my my test tenant.
Oh,
this is my private one. So Lord only knows what we're gonna have about it. So
your private, your own tenant. I like it.
Oh yeah,
that's living dangerously.
Okay, so let's see. Let me just catch up on the chat here, right? I don't understand the toaster thing. What is the deal with Bill Gates' toaster? Can somebody tell me? Because I'm feeling very out of the loop. I saw people asking you, but I don't know why I don't know what it means.
Well, people are making the wrong assumptions. I'm using a toaster to do the stream, but I'm not. I'm using my fridge right now. So I've connected my QC35s on the fridge, and I'm using the fridge camera.
So we have a bet on how many slots Bill's toaster has. Oh, it was an analogy for arrays. Oh, that's a good array analogy. I like that. You put different things in Pop-Tarts, bread, bagels. Oh yeah, and then that's cool. So then I wonder then, what would that rotating bagel cooker be that's at hotels? Would that be like a stack? Or no, because it wouldn't be a stack because you're not pushing and popping, right? That would be it'd be like a read forward queue or event log, right? It'd be like an array that you can read like one direction. So you put the toast in, and then the toast comes out first, and then the next one, and then the next one, and the next one, in the order in which they were received.
Linked lists.
Okay. It looks like there is a Bill Gates toaster joke. This website looks pretty sketchy, although I'm not quite sure I want to click it, but it's my work machine, so who cares? It's somebody else's problem. Okay. All right. So the Microsoft toaster. Every time you bought a loaf of bread, you would have to buy a toaster. You wouldn't have to take the toaster, but you'd still have to pay for it anyway. Toaster 95 would weigh 15,000 pounds. Could you imagine a 15,000 pound toaster? You could cook like a 4,000 pound piece of bread in that. It'd be amazing.
Does it come with a camera so I can see?
Might come with a really good camera if it's 15,000 pounds.
Wow.
Let's see. So you need a reinforced steel countertop. It draws enough electricity to power a small city. Blah, blah. This is not a good joke. Everyone would hate Microsoft toasters, but nonetheless would buy them since most of the good bread only works with their toasters. Right. Okay. So I love the array analogy, but this... I mean, I don't know what my hopes were for a website that has 4 fonts in the name and a number in the middle. But I'm just saying, yeah, that I don't know. I mean, at least if you're gonna make a Bill Gates joke, it's got to be topical, like, like obviously Christos isn't fully vaccinated because he hasn't gotten his Bill Gates 5G shot yet, right? Like that's a good one, right? Is that a good?
Yeah.
Is that a
True that.
I should stop. Okay. So, anyway, back to what we were doing. So we got our thing all set up. So I think all I need to do now is just run it, right? I don't have Mongo.
Yes.
I don't have Mongo
Yeah, go for
running.
it.
So
Oh, is that not a local database or something? Do you
let
need
me
to
do
have
it.
Mongo?
Well, I think that was Mongo Atlas, right?
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Yes,
Hey,
it was.
I get my second 5G shot on the 22nd or 23rd. Yeah, that'll be fun.
I haven't got mine yet. What the hell, man? We haven't got notification for it.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
I live in South Carolina where the rules don't matter. Nobody follows them
I
anyway.
see.
Okay, let's see if it runs. Oh no, we got an exception. Let's see. So what was our exception? Production environments should always validate the issuer. Okay, those just look like messages, but okay. Oh, Mongo parse. Oh, I don't have Mongo. Okay, so what's the fastest way for me to get Mongo so I can make this work? It's Azure AD, right?
Yeah, tell us.
Cosmos Mongo.
Oh, yes,
All
because it
right.
has the Mongo API.
Yeah, let's go do Azure Mongo. Nothing against Mongo Atlas, of course, but you know we work here, so I guess we got to talk about Azure stuff sometimes, right? So let's see
From
if we
time to
search.
time.
So let's see if I search for Mongo, we can do that. But let's do Cosmos DB. So Azure Cosmos DB is it's a big giant horizontal like document style database and it has a bunch of APIs sitting in front of it. So you can use like Mongo, you can use SQL, you can use all like table store, all sorts of cool stuff, right?
The the molecule says typical Azure using their own software. I mean, we don't have to, but most of it is
Okay.
open source anyways, like
I
Linux
mean,
and other stuff.
let's see,
But
MongoDB Atlas. Can I get a free Atlas? I'll go do Atlas. Why not? I mean, I'm here,
yeah,
right?
we'll do Atlas.
Okay,
We're
let's.
inclusive. We work with all the software and hardware. Come on.
Yeah, we don't care. Okay, so
We don't
cloud
care,
hosted
exactly.
MongoDB. Oh, but it's on AWS. Oh no, on AWS, Azure, and Google. Okay. Deploy, operate, and scale a
Oh,
MongoDB database in just a few clicks. So if I start free,
uh-huh.
can I sign up with Google? My company.
Hey, no, no, no. There's no nerves. We like the fact that you guys want us to try new things. I know you all have Azure
Oh,
accounts,
that's a good
and
idea.
one of these days.
You guys do all have Azure accounts. Let's go do that. Let's do it in Azure, right? Why not? I'm going to create a Cosmos. Let's call this. Let's create a new resource group.
Look at that. People are excited to actually see the Azure version. So
Hey, I think.
Cosmos DB has a Mongo API. That means that you don't have to change your code. You just point it to, and as long as you provision your Cosmos with the Mongo driver, it's all there. It's working out of the box.
I love it.
Okay,
Okay,
and people want to see it now. So let's do this.
so if you're not familiar with Azure, we got to create a resource group first. Resource group is a group of resources. Anything you deploy in Azure has to go into anything you deploy into Azure has to go in a resource group. It's almost like you think it's like a logical container. It's just like a folder for stuffing resources into them, right?
Yes.
Azure Dark Mode. So there are two ways you can do it. One, from here, from just like somewhere on the thing, if you double click it, oh no, they took that out. It doesn't work anymore. Used to be you could just double click it. If you hit the gear up here in the corner, you can get boring blue and white. You can get even more boring black and white. You can get gray and white. I don't know why we have three shades of ultra boring. Or you can go all in. Or you can do stuff like high contrast. So if you need, you know, if you need high contrast, that's there too. So yeah, so you can do dark. Anyway, okay. So let's go create a resource. We're going to create a Cosmos DB. So we got to create a resource group. I'll just call this, let's see, Mongo Cosmos. And the name is pretty much completely arbitrary. Are you okay? It sounded like your phone fell. And we'll call this Mongo Cosmos, and I'll put my name on it here. Oh no, we lost Christos again. No, we didn't. No, you're back now. I see you. Is it back? You grabbed a cold one and your phone and your tablet fell off the front. Okay. All right. Okay. So Cosmos DB for MongoDB. Now, I'm going to be honest. I've used Cosmos a lot. I have never used Mongo database. Never used MongoDB. I've never used the Mongo API, and everybody tells me it's protocol compatible. So we're going to test that. If it's protocol compatible, then when we fire this up, it should work. Now, there's also this new serverless, which is a preview, which is super cool. So if you look at if you look at this provision throughput means I'm going to buy like 400 RUs or request units. I'm going to buy some chunk of capacity. I'm going to use it, right? Oh yeah, you did. I can see you, but hang on. Hang on. I can get you back. No, I'm not on purpose. Not on purpose. I wasn't trying to.
I'm not absent. I'm the voice of God.
I think you're back now.
I am back now. Let's see. And the stream is, I can see clear. Like before I was getting like, everything was blurry.
Yeah, you're much clearer now. And we can hear you. And we can hear you, which is excellent.
Hey, it's a win-win. Just on time to do the Cosmos DB Mongo stuff.
So you had to defrost your router? Is that what you're telling us? Okay. So
restarting everything, one thing at a time.
So provision throughput means I'm going to buy a chunk. I'm going to buy a chunk of throughput. So I'm going to buy like a chunk of resources, and I'm going to pay for that chunk regardless whether or not I use them. So it's not super elastic, but like it's guaranteed. So if you know I'm always going to use XYZ resources, then provision throughput's a good way to go. And that's what we've had since the beginning of Cosmos, and so it's pretty normal. There's also a serverless preview, and serverless, of course, is pretty different because you're going to pay, I don't want to say per request per se, but you're going to pay based on what you're going to pay based on what you're using. But I'm not going to.
Yeah, I also found some limitations with serverless. Some things did not work, so I would say go with the provision throughput.
So one question, and for everybody who was hanging with Leon writing code today, what was there a specific version of Mongo that you were using? Like, was it 3.6 or it looks like 3.6.40 or 3.2 or 3x? Like, I wonder if it's anywhere in the code. Somewhere we should.
They say Atlas. That's 3.6.
3.6. Okay.
Dfrog 7 says 3.6, and we have confirmation by other people, so that's awesome.
Cool.
Let's do 3.6 then.
All right, let's
latest.
do 3.6. All right. So
almost latest.
This is very non-production. So we'll keep that at non-production. Let's go look at what we can do with it globally. So one of the really cool things about Cosmos is you can have it distribute itself across the world. And it just does it for you. You don't have to do any of the work yourself. You don't have to worry about concurrency. You don't have to worry about locking. You don't have to do any of that silliness. You just click it and say, yeah, I want that. And then it goes and does it for you. And then you choose some things like what kind of consistency level you want. So I agree, Dfrog 7. And
not just that, 9 millisecond, sub 9 millisecond SLA in production.
It's pretty fast. I agree, though, Dfrog 7 and the diabolical. So, this was Cam Newton territory.
Anything is production.
This was Cam Newton for a long
Cam
Newton territory for a long time. So everybody in Charlotte, like your children are born knowing how to dab. I'm not going to do it because I'm an old guy, but I'm pretty sure my 7-year-old knows how to dab. Although I don't think dabbing is really what people do anymore, right? Is that still a
people
thing?
Dabbing still? No, I doubt it.
But
that's not dab, says the diabolical. So I think we're totally out of touch.
I mean, I hope the diabolical is because it's in the name, so it kind of has to. But I do remember one day I was sitting outside of work and I was having a cigarette. And I used to work downtown, and I remember this guy drove down the middle of the street, like a fairly busy street, on one of those. What are those things? Those hoverboards, there's basically like a sideways skateboard, or like a Segway without a post, you know. And he drove down the thing, and he drove down the road, and I was like, "Who is this?" And because a bunch of people were following him, and sure enough, it was Cam. I mean, you can see him coming from a mile away because he would wear like a like a gator suit and a huge hat, and you're like, dude, it's a Wednesday afternoon. Like, what? Where are you possibly going? But whatever. Anyway, okay, networking, all networks, yeah, that's fine. Backup policy, we don't need backups. Not for where we're going.
Who needs backups?
Nah.
Where we're going, we don't need backups.
We'll let the service manage the key. We don't need to manage the key ourselves. We can use our own key though, which is cool. So, Let's see. And then tags. We don't need any tags because another one of our projects is going to go tag it for us anyway. Oh my God! Estimated account create.
Is that thing still running?
What? 13 minutes because of my location. Let's pick another
What?
location. Let's go to East US 2 because that's still pretty close.
What did you choose there?
I just chose East US. It said 13 minutes. This is going to be 10 minutes here. Hold up.
Wait, 13 minutes to provision the resource?
Hold up. Something's not right. Hang on. 4 minutes if I go South Central, which is close enough.
I don't think you're doing a good advertisement for Azure Cosmos DB, man.
I mean, I'm not the one who said it was going to take 13 minutes. They told me.
Go west. Go west.
No, I'm doing South Central. It's 4 minutes.
We'll save the world. The West is saving the world.
If there's anything that you and I can do, we can find an effective way to waste 4 minutes.
Wait a minute. There's a thing called Taylor Swifting. I knew about planking.
Oh my God, what?
But Taylor Swifting? I don't know that.
I don't know how to Taylor Swift. I don't know if I necessarily want to know because then I'll be terrified that like it's going to happen to somebody I know. How does one Taylor Swift?
Did we tell the guys? Did we tell the guys that we have a TikTok and an Instagram that is going to get some love in the next few days? Don't expect any dancing, but you can find us on TikTok and Instagram. So we're gonna kill 4 minutes there.
Am I gonna regret searching for this?
You mean Taylor Swifting? I don't know, man. It's a brave decision. I need to add our TikTok command and Instagram. Give me a second. I'm adding them as we speak. So give me a second. Damn, you guys are fast. Add new command. Can't be worse than the toaster joke. I mean,
oh my God, I think my cat does this because she's old. Oh Lord. Anyway. Well, when the first.
Can we see? Because I can't see.
I mean,
that.
I will.
Or am I too far back in the stream?
I will leave searching for that as an exercise for the viewer. You can search for it if you want. I don't know if I don't know.
Okay. I am not pushing my luck.
That was definitely a risky click of the day.
Okay.
So anyway, what's our TikTok? I didn't know we had a TikTok.
You're so far behind it. It's for the 425 show, man.
What is it called?
It's 425 show or the 45 show. I need to find it. Give me a second. We created the accounts just last week.
It's the 425.
So Instagram is just 425s.
I just get a 404. Oh wait a minute.
425.
425 show.
Maybe the 45? No. Did you get it?
There's one here that has one follower.
Yeah, that's us.
Okay, and it's.
Oh, the 404 show. There you go. You know what? Initially, we were thinking about the 404 show, but we thought it had negative connotations, right? 404 not found. We wanted to be pictures of Christos. You can't find those. I mean, you can find plenty of them. Just type my name, Christos Matskas, on Google or Bing, and they will come with plenty.
Speaking of Christos Matskas.
Do I want to hear that?
I was cleaning some stuff out the other day, and I was looking through this folder, and I was like, "What is going on here?" And then I found the pictures I made for. I found some emoji or some emotes that I was working on. Can you see these? And the thing is, the possibilities are endless. There's so many things I could do with this. I just don't know what they are.
Yes, beautiful. Yes, people want to use them.
I need them to like shoot out of a cannon or something.
You didn't know we paid for proper emotes and we haven't used them yet, right?
I know.
3 months ago.
We need to use them.
We got them. We haven't put them on our channel yet. It's appalling.
Okay, so it says that it says my deployment's complete, so we successfully burned 4 minutes. That's a good thing. So let's go to our resource. Okay, so I've got look at that. Cosmos DB Conf. They're having their own conference. Talk about growing up, right?
Yeah. So we have a 45 show conference.
I mean, don't we do that twice a week?
Yeah, but it's always the same two boring guys. We need to bring some more variety.
That's true. I think what we ought to do, we definitely need to get the 800 numbers set up.
Yes.
So
Tell them about it. You know.
Yeah, for all the new viewers, there is an 800 number, an 800 number, 877 Azure AD. And if you call that number in the near future, then, well, when we're doing a call-in show, you'll be able to call. And you'll be able to call and talk to us, and we'll put you live on the air, like an old school radio show. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, yeah, 877 Azure AD. Okay, anyway, all right, let's go create us a, so we've got a connection string. Let's go get our connection string. Please don't use my passwords. So we got our connection strings. This is our connection string over here.
We'll roll them anyway.
We'll roll them when we're done. So, let's see, where is that config? That is going to be, so here's our, here's our, let's see, use MongoDB for session, false, database URI. Here we go. And this one is called OIDC strategy. Interesting. So let's look at our database here. Okay. Okay. So this is all of our cool passport codes. That's cool. So if we go here, oops. No, I'm not like a super pro when it comes to Node either. I probably should have watched Leon's whole show so I wouldn't be a complete dope when it came to JavaScript today. But the database.
I wonder where we can go to learn some Node.
At least we know a guy now, right? So
we do know one of the best.
Database. Database URI. When I put, I guess my password just goes right in here. I mean, obviously that's not a production thing that we would do, but let's see here. So I don't know. All right, let me try to run this. So let's see. Let's do an npm start. No, it still crashed. Okay. So invalid connection string. So it's still invalid. Okay. I mean, that looks like a lot. So I was kind of not terribly surprised that it was bad, but let's see here. Okay. So primary connection string and secondary connection string. Okay.
Is there an environment file?
Oh.
Because Leon says file. Leon says environment file.
Ah.
He's here to support us. Did we manage to summon Leon by just saying his name? I think he's sitting in the background, not wanting to interrupt. But hey, thanks, Leon. Thanks for helping out.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we've got this environment file. Cool. So our environment file has our DB string in it. So I don't know if so then that also I'm also fairly certain that means that I screwed this up too, right? Which was MongoDB localhost OIDC strategy. So we'll put that one back. Okay, let's try to run this again. So terminate, yep. All right, npm start. Okay. Oh. So
what happened?
Okay. So something else blew up, but it blew up later, so that's good.
That's good. So we're connecting at least. That's good.
So it says the Mongo error of the expire after seconds option is supported on _TS field only. Ooh, okay.
Oh.
So, what if that's our max session age? Is that what is causing that to happen? Expire after seconds. What is that? Let me go. Let's go look.
Is that part of the settings for the Mongo stuff?
Let's see.
I am confused.
You know what? I wonder if it's because we have not created a collection yet. I bet that's what it is. We haven't created a collection, and yet in our database. Ugh.
What should the name be? Do you know? Do we have a designated name for that?
Looks like it's called OIDC strategy.
Oh.
So let's go create.
That's a weird name for storing to-dos.
Well, I don't know if that's maybe.
Yeah, let's create a collection.
Maybe that's for session. I don't know. So okay, so we're back in the portal. So let's add a collection. Here we go. So I'm going to call this OIDC strategy because that's what it looked like the name of the thing was. But I'm going to call it that. Although it's probably not. I don't. I don't actually think that's what it should be called, but I'm not entirely
Yeah, I don't
sure
think so either.
Let's call this Learn with Leon Java to-dos.
To-dos? There must
Good
be
idea.
something like to-do or something, right?
Good idea. Let's call it to-dos. So this is where we're going to choose our throughput. So we can have it scale
Oh,
automatically.
somebody's saying $24 per month.
So there is a free tier. But yeah, I believe 400 RU is about, oh no, we can go from 40 RU
To 4,000 RUs.
I thought we had to have a minimum of 440 or 400, but that might be old. Let's try 100 RU. And let's do a manual scale. So let's start with
Is 40 not going to be a little bit low?
well,
Requesting,
400's
right?
pretty,
So that's
like,
the
400's pretty typical. Let's start at 100 though, because 100 is going to be cheaper. So let's start here. So we've got our collection ID, and we'll call this to do collection 1. And then our sharding key. That's a good question. What is do our to-dos have an ID? I assume they do.
They should. If not,
Well,
we'll
they
provide one. Would we make
They
the
have Microsoft ID.
Would we make the user ID?
User ID's
Would we make it?
user ID is probably a good.
It's partition.
It's probably a good partition key
Yeah.
because.
We're gonna look up the to-dos by user, right?
Yeah, we're gonna look them up by user.
That's the fastest way to access them.
I mean, we may end up with some. We may end up with some hot partitions. So that is one thing. Is the sharding key is, and I'm not. I mean, I don't know how familiar everybody is with sharding, but if I've got like a big, massive database, I can store it all in one database, and it's going to be one really big database with like tables with huge amounts of data in them. But what's cool
Millions of rows.
what's cool about sharding is that instead of having all these in one table, we can do a chunk in many tables. So we have lots of smaller tables, but they have a key that key is what we use to say, okay, put everything for chunk 1. This is the key for chunk 1. Put that over here. This is the key for chunk number 2. So user ID sometimes can be a good sharding strategy, because if all of your users are using the service about the same way, if everybody's got 15 to-dos, then that's going to be a really good distribution across your database. If one person has 8 million to-dos and everybody else has 15, you're going to have this one really, really hot partition, and so maybe a different key would be better. Like maybe a to-do like a due date might be a good shard, because you're probably going to look at things that are just coming up, right? And so dates can make good shards. Diabolical is he's got 8 million, or he or she or they has 8 million to-dos. So that the Diabolical's partition would be super hot right now. So hot right now. And
Yes. So hot.
so you want to pick a key that has sort of like a decent distribution across your data, and a lot of that depends on the kind of data that you're storing. And to-do data, maybe the due date is a good shard key, or maybe the added date is a good one, right? Because there's most people aren't looking at their to-dos from like 6 months ago. They're looking at their to-dos for like this week or today or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Anyway, but we'll use the user ID now, so we don't have to go modifying the model or anything like that. And user ID should give us a decent one. Wildcard index, we don't need that for right now.
So Amran Mohammed says we grabbed the ID from the MongoDB entry. I wonder if there was an auto-generated ID, and here we need to do a little bit more work to
we will
create
get an
the ID.
auto-gen ID on here, but we'll use the Microsoft ID as the shard. Well, for the sharding, like we'll still get an ID, but we'll use we will shard by ID or by Microsoft ID.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, cool. So we've got unlimited. We've got max RUs of 100. We'll hit OK.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, wow. I can't auto scale with less than 4,000. I don't really want to do that. So let's just do 100. 100 should be plenty for what we're going to be doing.
And no auto scale.
And no auto scaling.
Mm-hmm.
And still has to be more than 400. So it looks like we're going to do 400. So 400 is $23.36 monthly. That's 30. It's 3.5 cents an hour, 3.2 cents an hour, 77 cents a day. We will delete this after like 2 days, and it's going to cost $1.50. So
Correct.
For dev and stuff, it's not too bad. Now there is a free tier available. So if this is your first one, in your subscription, you can get it for free, which is kind of nice.
Hey,
So.
there you go.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's get our Cosmos DB up and going with Mongo. Cool. All right. So we've got test and to-dos.
Mm-hmm. Let's go and see what the connection strings look like in our app now.
So
we need to do some changes, right?
Well, so our connection string, the connection string itself, presumably would stay the same.
Man, so many passwords. If you were only using Manos Identities, it's fine. We'll talk about that at some other point.
So do you put the name of the collection, the name of the database, in the string itself?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Let's go look. Okay, so here's the Mongo doc. Here we go. So we have MongoDB, whack, username, password, host, port. And then we have database.collection.
Mm-hmm.
And then any options that we want to have. So if we look at ours that we have right now.
Yep.
So we've got that, our key at Mongo Cosmos. So we've got the name of our thing, our port, SSL. We got some options. And look, I wonder if we actually need to put it right here. So it's database.collection. So that would be to-dos collection 1. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try that. Okay, so let's save this. We'll run it again.
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do with our soundboard and our automation on our channel. We have some bots that we want to activate. In fact, we had... Hey, is the muting working?
Oh.
It is working because it's running on your machine.
I'm not running the bot though. Hang on, I will.
Look at you. You can actually mute one of us if you use your points. You can mute me or JP for 30 seconds. It usually happens when we say something that is bad. Hey, thanks for the subscription, Easy42. That's awesome. We really appreciate that. We haven't decided what we're going to do with our subscription funds, but I think we're going to donate them to charity since we work for Microsoft and we can't accept money.
Yeah, we will definitely donate them to a charity. We just we haven't.
A charity.
We got to talk about. We got to figure out which one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let us know where.
All right,
Give us ideas.
So it still died. It's telling me.
It's dying because resilient coders.
Database
That's
names,
an idea.
Database names cannot contain the character period. Okay. But at the
Do you
same
need to dash it?
well,
Dash.
I mean, the doc says database.collection. Doesn't.
Are we doing it at the wrong place?
I don't know. It's a good question. Let's see. Well, let's take out. I'll just take out the collection. Let's take out the collection name for the moment.
Are we using a library within the Node.js app, or is it pure stuff? I wonder if there's can we use this library with Cosmos and they will have any documents there? You know what I mean?
Oh wait.
How are we connecting?
Wait a minute.
Oh.
I don't think.
Oh.
I don't think it's. Oh no, it died.
Dang.
So it says the expire after seconds option is supported on _TS field. So where is
That's weird.
Where is that setting coming from? I wonder.
Supported on underscore TS field only. That seems to be like a Cosmos thing, right?
Well, it's coming out of the Mongo client.
Mm-hmm.
So it almost as if it's almost as if it's being being set somewhere. My assumption's somewhere down in the code. It's setting that, but I don't know where. Like somewhere in their library, it looks like. So we've got the only thing we have in here is max idle time in milliseconds, and this is expire after seconds. So I wonder where that's coming from.
That's a very good question. Where are you coming from? Tell us.
Let's
so
go.
where's the code that does the MongoDB instantiation? You know, the service or something.
So in the code, so we've got so we're creating a database connection. So there's ConnectDB. And then let's see.
So it's using Mongoose. I wonder if you can search for Mongoose and Cosmos DB and see if it comes up with any settings that we need to tweak.
Well, it looks like there's a it looks like there's what do you know? There is one. There's one right here. There's a Stack Overflow. It's likely because you use Mongoose, which only supports MongoDB. Cosmos DB is a Microsoft product, so it's not supported.
Oh,
no,
that's not good.
Well, that was a comment, and somebody else commented and said no. So let's see. Cosmos is a different server implementation for MongoDB. Yeah. Okay. Cosmos only supports TTL indexes on Cosmos's internal modification timestamp field. Since Connect Mongo is using a field called expires for the TTL value, it will not work with Cosmos. However, you can work around this by using Connect Mongo's compat mode, which uses a less efficient timer-based approach in your node application instead of the native TTL index supported by MongoDB. So that means that when we create our Mongo store, what we tell it is the auto remove interval. So let's look at where we create ours here.
There's a good question from Ghost6Fire. Does 45 Show have any plans to help get people get Microsoft or any other jobs directly, or is the 45 Show just promoting Microsoft products? I wouldn't say we're promoting Microsoft products. We're promoting people writing secure software and doing things securely end-to-end. We cover all technologies. However, if you want career advice, we're more than happy to give you advice. I mean, we've been in the field between me and JP, 35 years? 17 for me. How long have you been, JP?
16.
16. So 33 years between me and JP, working across different teams and fields and size of companies. So we're more than happy to help you, at least point you to the right direction and help you, get skilled enough to be able to get a job. Now, I can't guarantee that you get a job at Microsoft, but I never believed I would be working at Microsoft, not even in my wildest dreams, and here we are. So there you go. If I can do it, anybody can do it. That's that's the thing over there.
Yeah, so we aren't here to sell you anything. We work in the identity group at Microsoft. So so our team builds the identity services, and we are here to help developers understand identity, how identity works, and use identity, and write better software, right? So
yeah. Leon has actually pushed the Mongo string and listed the IP if you want to pull that and use that so we can do the demos on our end.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Leon. You rock. I mean, we have spent another half an hour spinning up another Mongo Atlas on our end, which would be a good exercise, to be honest. We need to test different software and how it works, but we appreciate the unblocking there.
I wonder, I think I may have used the wrong one. Let me back up a little bit.
Oh, did you mess up?
No, I pulled the one from Leon Noel instead of from 100 devs. So let me pull that one. To do MVC Microsoft, off Microsoft.
Yes.
Oops.
So the only challenge with muting JP and me narrating is the fact that my stream is probably about a minute behind. So even though my chat is up to date, oh no, they've done it. Okay, you're muted. So I don't know where you are right now because I'm probably a few seconds behind. I'm a few seconds behind JP. JP just cracking behind the scenes. Man, okay. So I will try to guess that JP is cloning the repo from the right repo this time and opening it up in his Visual Studio Code. And he's back. He's not muted anymore.
Okay, good.
Where are we? What have you done?
I'm cloning it in the right place now, so I'm gonna go.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to stuff, and we're gonna open another VS Code with stuff. So I've created.
I opened my projects folder today because we do all these proof of concepts and we try to do random things.
Yep.
And I got scared because I couldn't recognize how many projects I had there, and I thought I opened the wrong folder. I have over 45 different POCs and random stuff, and I can't delete them anymore because I'm so scared that I will lose significant work. So there you go. That's an ever-growing folder of projects.
Yeah, I think I'm up to like web application 117 now or something like that. Okay, so we've got Leon's code. Thank you, Leon, for your
Yes,
code.
thank you, Leon.
Let's go over.
So
to
what do
our-
we need there? What was different? Oh, you're copy pasting the config settings for our app registration,
Yep.
i.e. the Azure AD settings. Perfect.
Yep. So let's move our Azure AD settings over, and I think everything else I'm going to leave be. So that's all good. Okay, cool. And then looks like the environment file has some fun stuff in it. So let's go. So now we got our auth stuff. So let's go run it. Right.
Let's see. And let's start talking about tokens finally and how things work behind the scenes.
Yep. Okay. npm start. Oh wait, I gotta do an installation. npm I.
Yeah, const temp temp1, temp2. Eventually you run out of temps.